Welcome once again, Arif Khahtib, a friend of the show, based in California. You have established several companies over the years, among them a record label, publishing company, boxing promotional agency, and an entertainment production company. You were a consultant on the development and implementation of minority and women's business enterprises and have participated in numerous seminars tackling youth crime, incarceration, and drug abuse. And in 2021, you produced the documentary film Because They Believed, for which our very own Skyler Jett did the theme song. There's loads to talk about with you. Thank you so much again for joining us, Arif, and please do tell us more.
Thank you for having me. And that is a brief bio.
That's it. Yeah. There's loads more. I just crammed it all in.
But you covered the most important ones, I suppose. Things are great on this end. We're getting good testimonials.
Yeah.
It began streaming on February 2 here and everywhere else for that matter. It's on Apple TV, so it's all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
There are friends of mine who viewed it in South Africa. I just spoke with one yesterday who viewed it in Nova Scotia. Wow. So the film is not only gaining a response from America, it is gaining a response from abroad. And I felt that it would have that impact because it isn't just about American sports. It is about athletes who paid the big price to create a just system for all of us as it relates to systemic racism.
Mm-hmm. But you're loving the testimonials, though.
Oh, absolutely. I received a couple from friends I know. One was in Hong Kong, but she lives in Massachusetts, and she's a photographer. She said she saw it in Hong Kong. Well, she had to take her with her or whatever she did, but she sent me an email and was just glorified over it. And another one locally. So these are not just testimonials from the so-called inner cities.
Mm-hmm.
Or urban areas.
Right.
They are people who are non-color, who support and believe in what we're trying to convey here.
And it's a powerful message, too, for everybody that hasn't seen it yet. You know, the struggles. People just don't start at the finish line. You got to walk to get to the finish line. There's a lot of struggle in between there.
Well, you know, Skyler, I'm happy to say that I interviewed every single individual in that film. Mm-hmm. In fact, 5 of which we cut out that did not make the cut for various reasons after a closer examination and their remarks. And so, having known each of these persons personally, I was able to extract information from them that they had not given to anyone else, according to them.
Wonderful.
That makes the film not only unique and purposeful, but makes it very challenging for those who have never heard it before. This one person from Massachusetts that I talked about the testimony said it brought tears to her eyes. He was going to watch it a second time. It's getting those kinds of responses. And for instance, Dr. John Collis in the film. John and I have been so close for so long. I told John, I said, I know you've been interviewed 1,000,000 times, but for this film, I want you to share something with me that you've never shared with any other journalist, because I'm not a journalist.
Right.
It's not going to be on the newspaper tomorrow. It's not going to be on television. It's going to be in a documentary for educational purposes, so I want you to share it. And he told me something that I was not aware of, and I'm finding out later a lot of people were not aware of. His first wife took her life because of being ostracized, leaving the Olympics and what they did to her husband.
Right.
When they came back to San Jose a few months later, she had 2 kids. They have 2 children. She took her life. And that had not been told before. So, and also Billy Mills, the indigenous or Native American, however people want to, Indian. You call him Indian. He's okay with that. Very proud of it. shared information with me in the 38 minutes in his home that I interviewed him. We only used 4 minutes, but about 38 minutes of it. It will bring tears to you because I even became emotional myself during the interview. I'm not on film, and that was purposeful. When he told me how he was treated as an Indian, Native American, All-American at the University of Kansas, and when he went to run in the Olympics, they would not give him shoes. She showed me the shoes that he won the 10,000 meters in. They're in gold. He have them in a case.
Yeah.
They would not give him shoes to run because they say they were for the winners. He went over to the European supplier of that shoes, and they told him that you have to get your shoes from the American supplier. He said, they won't give me any. They said, why? He said, well, they said it was for the winners. Oh, come on. What's your size? He ran in their shoes, and then afterwards, the president of the United States shoe manufacturer was standing outside his hotel room to greet him afterwards because they knew they had made a grave mistake. Because this man won the 10,000 meter gold in 1964 in Tokyo and became the second Native American in the history after Jim Thorpe in 1912 to win the gold medal for the United States Olympics. And they did not know who he was. They ran up to him afterwards. Journalists said, who are you? Who are you? So these are the kind of things that we have in that film, and these are the kind of people we have in that film. So they were carefully selected by me, travel all over the country, paid for it out of my own pocket, because I had not 1 cent grant, not 1 penny came from government or any other grants.
This kind of content is huge.
Hired production companies in various cities to interview these people. I waited until they came to the Bay Area and interviewed them, but it's done. I'm happy and pleased with it. I particularly want to thank you, Skyler, because you were there from the very beginning. When I came to you and said, hey, I'm doing this film, it's going to be called Because They Believe, I need you to put a little something down on it. And you know what I meant.
Yeah.
And shortly thereafter, you gave me the theme song. Folks, listen to the theme song when you watch the film. This person right here is the composer of that. And I suspect that it is going to get a wide viewing audience in itself.
Well, I love you, Unc, and it was my pleasure. And I'm glad you love it. You know what I mean? What else could I ask for, right? And it's beautiful. I mean, when you look at the struggles and see, because the music video part of it I want to show you're a baby and you get attracted to a sport and you stick with it, because you can go so many directions, but for those kids that stick with it all the way through to get to the Olympics, that's because you believe in yourself.
Yeah, that's right. And you captured it beautifully. And when we put the archives around your song, and I know you saw that, I know you didn't envision that as coming when you wrote the tune, but you see how we put it around there, Because They Believe, standing on the podium in the rain. You know what I mean? So it did what it was supposed to do. I'm hoping that it would become a film for educational purposes. We now have it before the historical Black colleges. There's 207 of them. And I'm trying to connect it with our book, Remember Their Sacrifice, so that the two can go together as a teaching tool. And I'm confident that it will be done. I'm just so thankful that Byron Allen saw the value of it and purchased the film. And as a result, it is now doing what it's supposed to do. I'm also happy to say that there are several other streaming platforms that's waiting in the ring, waiting for this to finish at Apple. Several other media companies who are going to do this film when it's finished at Apple. Even after that, I retain the theatrical rights to the film. They have the television right, and our Hall of Fame has the theatrical rights. So I will then be moving it into selected theaters.
Man, athletes need to get behind it, you know.
Well, they are. A lot of the athletes have posted it on their website.
Okay.
Out of the 18 subjects, 6 of them have passed on before I got the film out.
Wow.
It took that long, so they never saw the film.
Oh,
I started this in 2008. It didn't come out until 2021.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
in between there, 6 people passed. And you know, I put the rest in peace note down at the bottom of the film and the screening as we go out and list each one of his name.
That's amazing. Tom?
The way it was produced, or the way you produced the film, do you feel that was partly why people were so open to giving you something different, something a bit more personable that other interviews haven't managed to get? Do you think that's partly the way you put the film together? You came to them and said, "Look, I want something new," and were you pleased that people were able to open up to you in quite the way that they did?
I consider myself lucky, pleased, or whatever, blessed, or whatever term one wishes to use, to be able to be in that position, because I don't believe there's any documentaries out there at all, maybe it never has been, where they could claim that they knew every person in the film personally.
Right.
Or that they did the interview themselves personally. So I think this is a standalone in that regard, and that's why I think that I'm so blessed and fortunate, because it's going to be hard to duplicate. And I'm not patting myself on the back at all. I'm just giving the facts. It's going to be hard to duplicate this because, first of all, the people that's dead aren't going to be interviewed anymore. There are going to be people who are going to want to do these kinds of documentaries that will not have the relationship with the athletes that I have.
Absolutely.
And with us not be able to, first of all, get them to come on the screen. And secondly, to get them to be forthright and talk about what they really talk about. Here's a surprising, but not surprising. Dr. Harry Edwards, who closes out the film. Harry was one of the very first that I interviewed over at the San Francisco 49ers headquarters, probably 2007, 2008. He was able to capture all of the prior information from the interviews and wrap it up in such a way that no one else, in my opinion, would be able to do. Harry did it. And unfortunately, and truly unfortunately, Harry has acknowledged he has only a few years to live. He has a deadly disease and cancer of the blood. And so here we have this person on screen who was in his prime in 2007 and 2008. He's changed dramatically since then in interviews, in his presentation. So this will never be done again. This will never be matched again. And so
it's going to be here for forever. Yeah, for ages. I used to go watch you play basketball when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So you've been in the game for a long time, but you was also in the music back in the 70s, right?
Yeah. And I was in the music production in the 70s, but I was in the entertainment in the 60s.
Okay. And Ike and Tina Turner, right?
Ike and Tina Turner, just a few of them. Ike and Tina Turner, oh my God. Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor, Nancy Wilson, just Smokey Robinson. It's just on down to everybody, a lot of them.
You didn't work with all kind of people in the music industry. I wanted the people to know that about my uncle, right? It's not just sports, you know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and I knew, I tried to submerge into the friendships that I have. I developed the friendships, and I developed those in the entertainment business, and then I developed them in the athletic world.
Yeah.
So what it does, it enables one to extract information from them that they normally perhaps would not share, because they're not sharing it with a journalist, they're sharing it with a friend.
That's right.
And if you let them know the purpose, it is not about They're trying to get rich off of you and exploit you. This is about education. This is about contributions to society and humanity. And here's your opportunity to do that because you're a worldwide figure.
Wow. Well, listen up. We're going to stay in touch with you because Tom's going to get everything on you.
Yeah, definitely.
If you want to get another question in, you got time, I think.
Well, I'll stick another question in. Why not? Just want to...
Hey, why are you speaking? Have you heard of a guy named Fred Williamson Hammer?
Of course.
His name is popped on my screen. He just text or call or whatever it is. So Hammer and I've been friends for a very long time. I'll talk to you. But Skyler, before I forget, I want to let your audience know that you have a phenomenal show, that I want to applaud you and your cohorts with you, that what you're doing is not only good, but it's the right thing to do. You're making contributions to the music world that heretofore had not been made and perhaps will not be made other than with you doing it. And so I want to thank you. You've got a fabulous show. You've worked hard on it. You have not deviated from your purpose. I applaud you for that.
Thank you.
I call it the sticking to itness. You are sticking to it, and you do continue to do that because you'll be blessed and you're doing good for humanity. So please don't stop, bro.
No, we ain't stopping. You know, Tom and I, we just passed our like 187th.
Yeah, something ridiculous now.
You know,
can you imagine that? From 187, that's beautiful, man. I applaud both of you. And thank you for doing what you're doing. Don't stop.
No, we not. I love you. Tom's going to get all your information so we can pass it to our fans and yours too.
Yeah, just want to know, social media wise, if you're on anything that people can see what you're up to. Maybe you got a website that people can go and have a look at what you've produced. What we'll do is I'll get that information and put it in the links at the bottom of the video as well for people. If they watch the show, they can click on the links and go to it as well for you.
Outstanding. Tom and Skyler, thank you guys for having me on.
Pleasure having you on again.
Love you, Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Arif.
Love you back.
If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.